The musicians of the moon. On a summer evening, the children of a small town gathered under the bright moon in the sky. The moon radiated its light so powerfully that it seemed as if the whole world had awakened to the melody. Steve, Mathilda, John, and Angelina had come together to spend the night. They were eager to discover something that evening. John looked around and pointed to the moon in the sky. "You know, it's always wonderful to sit under the moon and make music," he said. Mathilda nodded and responded, "Yes, but we don't have any instruments. What can we play?" At that moment, Steve stared intently at the moon and suggested, "Come on, maybe we can make musical instruments out of nature." The children set to work making various musical instruments from the stones, branches, and leaves they found around them. Mathilda created a flute from a stone she found. John transformed a thick branch into a type of percussion instrument. Angelina attempted to create new sounds by striking leaves one by one with loud bangs. Steve gathered all the instruments to fulfill his dream of producing a melody. As they started making music, they noticed something. The light emanating from the moon seemed to guide their melodies. With each note, they drew more inspiration from the moon. The melodies blended together so beautifully in that moment that the children began to dance. The sounds that came together reflected the essence of their bonded friendship. Suddenly, Steve looked more closely at the sky. "I feel something," he said. "It's as if the moon is telling us something." His friends joined in, feeling that their melodies were transforming into some kind of song. The music they created was more than just sounds, it was an expression of their connection and friendship. As the night progressed, the children decided to write down the notes of the moon's melody using stones and dirt. Each one made an effort to express the melody they heard with notes. As Mathilda played the first notes of the melody, she exclaimed, "These are the first music notes falling from the sky of the moon." While Steve accompanied that melody, he said, "Let's call to the moon and talk to her. Let's draw inspiration from her melodies and her spirit. Perhaps in her light, we can discover even more notes." As the children continued to create melodies, they managed to produce new notes and rhythms. Ultimately, this creative process led to a melody that was not just a song, it represented their friendship, solidarity, and excitement for each other. The next evening, they gathered again. With the notes they collected from nature, they decided to transform them for a large concert in the middle of the garden. They invited all the children in the town and ensured everyone could join while they ran around. The melody played lovingly by the children spread in the air, becoming audible to other children and even adults. The crowd that formed in the garden filled with joy as the melodies came to life. In the end, that night turned into a festival where many children came together to celebrate friendship and music. This group, which they named the Musicians of the Moon, not only made music that evening, but also strengthened the power of their friendship. Over time, the melodies began to echo in the heart of the village. Everyone began to join together to keep this music alive, which symbolized their friendship. Steve, Mathilda, John, and Angelina continued to chase the melodies they found, never forgetting the binding power of music, even after those dreamy evenings. Thus, their friendship, united under the music of the moon, became a harmony that enriched the spirit of the town. Every evening, looking up at the sky, they knew that their melodies would always keep them together.